Hey, what's up guys? Tuki here, back again with another episode of Project Tranmere. You know the deal at this point. We are ready for our second season in the Premier League. Today's episode will hopefully be all about making as much progression through this season as we possibly can, with the last episode being as, jam-packed full of shit to do, for lack of a better term, as it was. Of course, we completely altered the look of the team. A lot has changed. I do want to get to a couple of your comments. First of all, Elon, well, shit, it's a little bit too late then, huh? Personally, I've been able to loan out players at a higher success rate by negotiating the loan. I will start to do that. We will, we'll see if we can get that to work for me. Hopefully. I'd suggest the third approach, choosing what young players to place in the youth academy. Minimum 90 overall, max potential, of course, but at least a 50 minimum projected starting overall. That is definitely the right way to go. I mean, we've been trying to, I read the rest too. But as far as doing a dumb thing, here's the thing. As far as playing players out of position, Eliza, I will equate it to hockey. If my center has a 50 for face-offs, but my right wing has a 90, I'm going to play the right wing at center. Unfortunately, and this does go along with what Cass here mentioned as well, we're not playing on PC, so I have no way to actively go in and change a center back to a CDM. It's just they're going to be listed as what they're going to be listed at, but they're still playing in a better spot for them. So we're just kind of stuck in that way. Jamie, I wish you all the luck in the world. Hopefully you have more success than we do. What am I going to do with all the transfer money? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing we can do with it. So there's that. When you play a midfield player in a defensive role, or even playing a side player in a central role, you're basically telling FIFA to lose games. So be it. We'll see how the season goes. You might not be wrong, but we'll see how the season goes. And as far as essentially doing Nations United in FIFA, probably. Let's be honest, it's probably what's up next. So, this is going to be very interesting because obviously the pressure is on. We have 3 points from 4 games, which is frankly quite terrible, but we'll see. Here's the thing. At the very least, if we do have to go back on how this team is set up and actually just stick to playing players where they're listed, the team is still strong enough, right, to pull that off. So I'm not too afraid of where we are right now. But I am going to give the team the opportunity, as they were set up in the last episode, to succeed, and hopefully they do. So, more than likely, I will talk to you guys at the beginning of October. It is a tough schedule ahead. A home match against Chelsea that I expect us to lose. Hopefully we can pick up a point or two, or maybe a point or 3 against Watford. Carabao Cup match against Liverpool, let's be honest, we're probably going to lose, but a game against Stoke, we have a chance to find some success this month. Let's find out if we do. Alright, so we do have our first update, actually, as Youth Academy player Placido Romero wants out. I will note as well, I've already tried the negotiating of the loan move for Thomas de Groot. It's fallen apart both times, despite me offering to take 100% of the responsibility for his current wages. So I just cannot get these deals to go through, as frustrating as that is. I'm just double checking to see if anyone's regressed. Obviously someone like Bruno Vieira, I'm probably not going to bother trying to improve. But yeah, I mean 66 overall at 17 years old. Placido Romero, 88 to 94 potential. It was a matter of time before he asked to get into the side, so I'm not surprised. So let's take a look. We'll see how he measures up. I want to specifically look at his attributes as well to see if he should actually be more of a defender. Those boots are horrific. Let's just go for, you can go for, there you go. Congratulations. So, again, part of me, and there's no doubt about it, for those in the know, for those who follow the FIFA, career mode community, for lack of a better term, there's no doubt PC is the better way to play it this year. Fortunately, not on PC. Probably should be. Hopefully might be. Time will tell in the near future. But for now, let's look at one Placido Romero to get a look at his stats and setup here. Shall we? Placido, there you are. He's a cam. I thought he was a CDM. So let's take a look. 3-star, 4-star. Low work rates. That is not what I was hoping for. Now, of course, there's always the debate over how much of an emphasis should be placed on work rates. They do, I mean, there are some people like, they don't mean anything. I'm on the side of they do mean something. But, yeah, 3-star, 4-star, solid, low work rates, I don't know. For now, we're going to attempt to loan him out. But long term, he might not stick around. Now, it's not quite October 1st, but it is the 29th of September, and Tranmere Rovers have 8 points in 7 games, and shockingly, have not been eliminated from the FA Cup. We're doing okay. Now, we started the last episode 3-1 loss to Burnley, which was brutal. We beat Wigan 2-1, lose to West Ham, we lost to Fulham, beat Colchester in the Carabao Cup. This month, though, pressure was on, and at the very least, we draw Chelsea, beat Watford 2-1, draw Stoke 2-2, beat Liverpool 1-0. Ovie Anderson, the lone goal there. The day before, handed in a transfer request, so that's going to be fun to see what happens with him. But interesting times. We're not exactly off to a flying start, nor did I expect us to be. But despite some of the concerns over the way the team is currently set up, we're looking okay. And I'll take okay. Unfortunately, a lot of these loan offers just aren't working. I'm trying to delegate. I'm trying to outright accept. I'm trying to negotiate them myself. Just trade, transfers in general are just screwed. Loan offers are screwed, and it sucks. There you go, Anderson handed in another request. There is a training injury, which could be a huge blow to the team. And it is. Our starting right back, Harrison Wright, is going to be out for 2 months. Robin Kovac, pressure's on, buddy. As we take a look at our scouting reports, first up, it's Brazil. Nobody there, anybody at all. Hello. Oh, I know how to pronounce that name. I'm just going to call you Gomez for the moment. Welcome aboard, Ribeiro. Welcome aboard for the moment. Carlos Lins, Pedro Jesus. I'm going to sign them both up for the moment just because we have space. I do have to double check back through the academy as it stands anyway. So we go off to Canada. Will we have anybody this time? Frank Cooper, 72.94. Not bad. 74.94. Harry Smith, the British Bulldog Jr. there. Is there anybody? Yeah, Arata Hino is going to be dropped. Is there anybody else who, in terms of potential, it makes sense to get rid of now? Let's be honest, Carlos Lins is already gone. It's a really low rating, too. Jesus is a 49 overall at 17 years old. We'll go ahead and drop him. Takeda is a 60 at 17 years old, which is kind of brutal when you look at, say, Zonner. So I think I'm going to drop Takeda as well. Onishi is a 50 at 16. We're going to drop him. Watanabe, we'll hold off on dropping him immediately. Zonner gets to stay. Frank Cooper is going to be dropped, 44 overall. Young Bauer, being a 57, I can't drop him with that potential, though. So he can stay for now. Fuentes is still looking great. Diaby's still looking great. DeGraff's still looking great. 59 overall at 15 years old. Gomez is on the way out already, as is Fiera, a 41 at 16 years old. Tabucci can stay for the moment. Ribeiro is gone. Wow, Brazil not exactly working out for us. DeGraff, of course, is fine. And the other Tabucci is okay. So we're down to 7. That said, we're still looking here Canadian-wise, and we still do have Harry Smith. He is the only other one. And we go back to Japan. Is there anybody else? And oh my god, I wish. Ryu Kuroki will be signed. Yuko Kagome will be signed as well. So not exactly as beneficial of a trip as it was last time out. We still have at least one more. Actually, we do have one more scouting report from Japan. We are going to continue to sim 1 month at a time. Right now, not looking like the busiest month. We have league matches against Swansea, Leicester, and Liverpool, and a Carabao Cup match against Accrington Stanley, which should be a win. Ideally, we win 3 out of 4 games in this month. I would expect the loss to Liverpool in the league, but time will tell. We're still not quite sure what this team is at this point. Still early, 31 games in the league left this season. All right, so yet again, we are back just shy of the first of the month. Unfortunately, we find ourselves back in 17th, 1 point above the drop zone. It has continued to be a back and forth start to this season. We lose to Swansea, which was devastating. We draw Leicester. We get crushed by Liverpool. So 1 point in 3 games from the league. At the very least, we do manage to sneak past Accrington Stanley. And when you look at the team, I mean, number one, I have made the choice of Declan Clarke being the number one. He has been the better of the 2 goalkeepers so far this season. 4 clean sheets in 5 appearances as opposed to, and he's pretty far down here. Actually, he's way back up here. It's Dragojevic, 2 clean sheets in 12 appearances. You can look, too, in terms of goal scorers. I mean, Duarte's leading the team right now. Johannessen with 4 goals. Montandon only 3, so he struggled to kind of make an impact. And Anobi Anderson's been great. Right now, he is up with the first team. As you can see, Moritz Meier currently out injured. So right now, we're still kind of in the test phase of who deserves to play based off of overall, and then getting into, well, who deserves to play simply because they've been the better of the players thus far this season. As Moritz Meier is back from injury, let's take care of our final scouting reports. First up is Japan, where we have Hattori's okay. Kita is much, much better. I think Oda Hattori will sign for the moment, again, just like we did before. Odds are he'll end up being released, but there we go. Japan overall was quite kind to us. What about Canada? Do we have anybody else? Lucas Haber. I'll sign him up for the moment. No guarantee he stays at all. Larry Gauthier as well. No guarantees. Jose Cooper. Not the name I'd expect, but there you go. And Noah Park will sign up for the moment. Again, odds are we're back in this phase of some of these guys are going to get cut anyway. But for the moment, we can sign them up. That is quite the drastic change in terms of hairstyles. Anybody here? Afonso Cabral. Go ahead and try to sign him up. So Hattori's a 49 at age 16. For that reason, he's already going to be gone. Kita, 73 to 94, 51 at 16. I'm just going to cut my losses now and go ahead and drop him. Watanabe as well is a 51 at 16 years old, which isn't bad. We can recover from that, but I'm going to hold off as we continue to prioritize guys like Zonner, who are already up there. Harry Smith is a 54 at 17. Decent potential as well, but I think we're going to drop him for now. I mean, that's the one issue, right? Is I can keep these guys and prioritize them. If loaning players out was a bit more consistent, as we're going to drop Lucas Haber as well, then yeah, I'd sign up all these guys who are fringe, focus on loaning them out and having them develop elsewhere. But because loaning players out this year is essentially broken, it's just extremely frustrating and not worth my time. So we are going with the best of the best. Ryu Tabuchi looking pretty good. Kagome being a 52, we'll wait to see what that potential is truly. Kuroki as well can stay. So a fairly decent result. 3 players from Japan joining, but nobody else. No Brazilians, no Canadians at the moment. That is going to change with Pedro Jesus, who, 46 to a 60, so no guarantee that he stays. Cabral's going to have such a low overall, it's not even going to be worth it. So that'll do it for Brazil. And we will figure out where the hell we're going next. You know how painful it is to look at that transfer budget and know that I'm not going to do anything with it? Absolutely brutal. So let's see. Shall we just finish up North America? I think we might as well. We already have Canada scouted, so screw it. We're going to the U.S., and we are going to Mexico. Let's just get that over and done with. So in terms of North Americans, here's the thing. They don't really specialize in anything, though. That's kind of the issue when you kind of look at what some of the research people have done in terms of high-end talent. So maybe we'll hold off. I think we'll hold off, actually. Let's take a detour down to Africa, trying to find ourselves a physically strong player. I don't believe we have scouted anywhere in Africa yet. We have not. Let's start at the top. Let's go to Morocco, and we'll look for a physically strong player there. In terms of someone technically gifted, maybe we'll hit Argentina this time after hitting Brazil last time. Granted, it wasn't all that kind to us, but that is okay. We'll go technically gifted. Find us the next Messi, please. So technically gifted, physically strong, and defensive-minded. Ah, boy. Let's go Australia. We haven't been to Australia for a second time yet, have we? We have not. So there you go. That is the game plan here for this batch of scouting: Morocco, Argentina, and Australia. So again, as far as how things have gone for us, wasn't great. The schedule ahead, I mean, Man City we're going to lose. Hopefully, though, we can take points from Palace and Southampton, or we have to kind of keep the pressure on. So this next game against City is probably going to be rough. Pep Guardiola coming off a Manager of the Month award, which is not good news for me. We'll just go ahead and accept the offer for De Groot, because who the hell cares? Arne and Anderson both saying they still want out. That is what it is. I'm not too concerned about it. So the first team is in. Kovac's a little bit tired. Anderson's in right now due to the injury to Moritz Meier. Let's see what happens, shall we? They somehow drew against Forest Green Rovers, which is nuts. Let's sim this. 3-2-1. 3-2! Oh my god, we put up such a good fight. 2 goals for Ovi Anderson. He has been insane. But they were just too much. They were too good for us. And that sends us into the drop zone. It seems to have become a trend, at least ever so slightly, I mean really since last February, where things start off so well and then go so poorly. We find ourselves second last. 19th out of 20 teams. It is amazing the downturn that this club has been on since last February. I mean, it's been nearly a calendar year of struggles now. For this game, we're trying something different lineup-wise just to try and get anything going, although, in fairness, it completely fucked the lineup for some reason. What's up with that, game? What's up with that? There we go. That's a little bit better. So, we'll see. I mean, we certainly have some decisions to make in terms of where we play certain players, although that hasn't been an issue considering we've been playing, right back at center back. But, whether or not it comes down to attributes, that's down to, oh my god. I mean, really? Really? 5-0 loss to Everton, and it is a dire situation we find ourselves in right now. We haven't had a loss that badly. That might be our worst loss ever. 3-2 loss to City. We lost to Palace. We lost to Southampton. And now we just get crushed by Everton. Is that the worst loss of this series? It is. That is the worst loss we have had in this series. 370 games as manager of this club, and it's never been this bad. And in terms of turning it around, I genuinely don't know. I played a game with people back in their normal positions. That didn't help either. As we head to Morocco, we'll see what we can do here. I mean, I'm just going to sign up guys that have 90s at the moment, and of course we'll whittle it down from there. Except for Sassy, who I'd love to sign for the name, but that's not going to happen. In terms of what the hell we do from here, I don't know. I'm going to look at different formations, and we'll try to figure it out. We'll hold off on Ward and Callum Bell for now. But, yeah, to say it's a dire situation, honestly, at this point, is an understatement. We have been in free fall for nearly an entire calendar year now. We had enough to survive last year. But you look at the schedule. We play City. Granted, it's a Carabao Cup match. But we play City, Spurs, and Arsenal. Wolves and Brighton. I mean, Wolves, if I'm not mistaken, are a team that's right there with us. But in terms of what we're going to do to turn this around, I don't know. I truly don't. I mean, like I said, I don't think it necessarily comes down to playing players out of their natural position, because we were losing games this consistently for a while. Not to mention, I completely forgot to redo the contracts. I knew I would after last episode, so we'll see what we can do here. More than likely just going to delegate renewal, and we will see what happens here. Obviously, money's not a concern, so we have, oh God, who was that? That was Granero, was it not? Horatio Sanchez, let's see what we can do here for you. 4-year deal, I'll take it, just to get all this done. Joaquin Guzman, who hasn't played, bitch, that's not what I wanted to do, but we'll go ahead and negotiate this one on our own, I suppose. Guzman hasn't been able to play a ton. I'll have him listed under rotation. We'll see if that's good enough. It is. And he wants a 4 years, so as long as we don't screw this up money-wise, monetarily, we should be okay. Let's disregard the release clause. What do you want money-wise? Shit. How's 50K a week sound? Just don't be pissed off at the offer. That's perfect. Yes, cool. I accept. No problem. Just don't walk away pissed off at me. As long as we have that. Oh my God, like half of our team? Half of our team has an expiring deal. Which again, I mean, we have all the money in the world right now to just sign these guys up, no problem. And then if we have to get rid of somebody, we get rid of them. You know, that's quick and easy. So that's where that transfer budget really comes in, to just be able to sign anybody to what they want. Of course, as far as release clause being a part of it, or release clauses being a part of it, as we've now seen, that is what it is. We will try to escape that situation if we are threatened with losing a top-notch player. But at this point right now, it's kind of tough to know exactly who we want to consider the top-notch players. I mean, we have seen some development, like Lund's gone up a point this season. We've seen some development out of these guys. Again, I label these guys as the best of the best in terms of future setup. The most well-rounded players that we had available to us. And it has been an outright disaster, unfortunately. And like I said, I don't know how exactly we're going to get ourselves out of this mess. I'm hoping it's a formation change that can solve the issue. That was a really weird bit of lag there. Jonathan Kelly, see if we can get you for another 4 years, and Declan Clarke as well, just to keep you. Almost a $21 million release clause. So at the very least, the contracts are taken care of. The reason I went there originally was to show you the stats on the season, where if we look goalkeeping-wise, I mean, Dragojevic has 2 clean sheets in 12 games with a 5.9 average rating. Clarke at least has 4 clean sheets in 9 games, so he has been the better of the two. And unfortunately, Ronaldo Granero has just been sitting there. I will probably give him an opportunity sooner rather than later, maybe in a League Cup match. So that's just a weird spot. Johannessen, who we moved into the midfield, he's done well. He has 4 goals in 15 games, but obviously that's only helped out so much. Kovac at right back, Thomas Lunde, we moved into the midfield. Haven't seen a ton out of him offensively. I'm trying to think of these other players that we've given a more offensive role to, but I mean, Altonen has 1 assist this season. Novi Anderson 5 goals and 7 appearances, so I've still been trying to play him as much as I can. Jay Morgan as well, I've been trying to give him some games. I mean, lately I've been rewarding the players who have actually been producing. Moritz Meier has been completely ineffective in terms of his production, which is a damn shame, really. Jonathan Kelly as well, nothing from him offensively, and Horatio Sanchez gets a bigger opportunity, and he has been completely ineffective. So it's been a strong lack of goals that's kind of sinking us here. We're going to sim at least this extra month. We'll see what happens. Again, I don't know what the hell this team's going to look like, what strategy we're going to try to pull out of our ass to just get something going for this squad heading into the new year. So this is a massive game that we have coming up against Arsenal. We are currently in 18th. Just 1 point separates us, or 1 win separates us from Wolves. 1 point separates us from Brighton, who are in 17th. This is still a close enough race that we can dig ourselves out of this hole. But after that devastating loss to Everton, we go on to get knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Man City, as you would expect. But we then pull off a win against Spurs, only to lose to Brighton, and then we beat Wolves. I don't know what is going on with this team. I do not get it at this point. But this game against Arsenal is going to be big. In January, there may be some players that force their way out of the club. No way to know for sure. This is the formation that we've been running for the past couple of games. And as far as who's going to start here, I think it is going to be Dragojevic. Monadon is just a tad bit tired, so Sanchez will actually be the guy to get the opportunity up front. Monadon can stay on the bench, though. He could still be useful. We're going to stub in a couple of these guys here who, at the very least, deserve an opportunity to try and get going, as Meier can stay on the bench for now. Defensively, it's not the strongest. It's not the strongest setup we could have. I'm going to move Medved to the starting left back spot, and it's kind of a mix and match team. We're certainly not playing. Those players in the ideal role as far as sticking to the first team, second team in terms of the best players, but we're doing whatever the hell we can right now. I mean, we are up against it here. I mean, at the Emirates, it's going to be bad. Sanchez scores 12 minutes in, and Balde Keita ties it. It's not the strongest Arsenal lineup, but I imagine quite a few of them are computer generated, and they take the lead. We'll sim the rest, and we do tie it. Sanchez with 2 goals, and we step away with a point. We are still going to be in the drop zone as Ismail Diaby wants out. By the way, there's an international management offer from the U.S. Could be an interesting one to take, but again, I don't hate the idea. Others have done it, and of course it fits with the kind of, nation series that we've done. I don't hate the idea of, for the next series after this, to be, hey, let's take control of Canada and hopefully get the international job as well and do what we got to do and essentially have Tranmere Rovers. Of course, it'd be a different team, but we'd have Tranmere be the home base and essentially be Team Canada, and we'd also be, the manager of the national team. It doesn't have to be Canada. That's just an example. So to the youth academy we go, as obviously Ismail Diaby will be signed. That's not even a question. We'll go back to the youth academy in a moment. For now, we get to look at Diaby and see what we are dealing with. So let's see what you got. Not bad. Not bad. 3-star, 4-star, low medium work rates. I can work with that. As a true CDM, potentially someone filling in at right back if the pace were to be a little bit better. But yeah, I could see Diaby just being a defensive midfielder for us in general. For the moment, he goes to the loan list. We'll see if that lasts. I don't know what the hell we're going to be doing with this team. I just don't at this point. I still don't hate the idea of having the club being set up, as I'm just going to randomly scroll up here. I still don't hate the idea of having the club being set up the way it is right now. That works for me. In terms of having the best players ideally play where they'd be best suited, I just think it has to be a formation thing more than anything. And I'm sure it's also a, stamina is factoring in. Abilo Fuentes wants out as well, so we'll be signing him. It may be a stamina thing. I've tried setting up, my God, we play Man U coming up. I've tried setting up the club in a way that we aren't, going full out attacking for the sake of stamina. Maybe it would make sense. I don't know if we'd outright switch. My God, he's going to be a beast. Please have good work rates. I don't know if it would be worth it to literally be like, hey, let's park the bus and hope for draws and maybe beat him on the counter. But that does seem like it could be the right move. So that might be how we set up, because we have just not been able to break down these defenses. So Mr. Fuentes, please, good work rates, good work rate. He's a god. 5-star, 3-star, high, medium. Abilo Fuentes, welcome. Welcome aboard. In terms, that stamina is low, but he is a beast. An absolute beast. 84 finishing by default. I gotta be honest, I know he's left wing. I'd prefer to play him on the other side so he's on a strong foot. But right wing or even a striker, potentially a cam. He has the ability to either be played outside or in the middle, and he should be effective. especially with that finishing rating. So we have ourselves a damn fine player on our hands. Hopefully we don't get sacked before we see him truly develop. So Fuentes, again, will do what we always do. Even though we haven't been playing many games, people are asking, like, hey, just in case you do play, do this setup. So, again, we'll just scroll down. Let's go 3, 2, 1. That works. At least have a little bit of blue, right? You gotta have some color coordination. Damn it! But we will see what happens against United. As of course Fuentes accepted the contract. My God, Bram de Graaf also wants out. So this is going to leave us, as Romero is going out on loan, by the way. This is going to leave us quite a bit of maneuverability in terms of changing up the team. I mean, again, hopefully de Graaf ends up going out on loan. I don't think he's exactly good enough to be starting right now, and despite the fact that the FA Cup is coming up, and actually, I don't even know. I don't think we're done with tournament play this year, but honestly, we might be, if I'm just completely misremembering. But let's see what we have with one Bram de Graaf. 16 years old, attribute-wise, perfect. I can take 3-star, 3-star, high-low. At 6'2" as well, he's got a little bit of height. All right, 73 jumping, high aggression. I like that. High aggression with the high attacking work rate. That's very nice. 57 finishing, so definitely a project, but a decent foundation in the Dutchman, Bram de Graaf, whose name I am probably butchering and not putting the right, the right spin to, but you get the point. So overall, we knew these players would be looking to take a step up. They do, just before January. As in terms of training, I'm just going to stick with Montandon and De Groot for the moment, as we're continuing just pretty much to focus on the keepers for now, just to try and get them up. It's really tough, though, because both Clarke and Dragojevic are no longer promising players. So it takes them a little bit longer. My God, Ryu Tabuchi wants out as well. Okay, I'm okay with that. Like I said, this gives us options moving forward. So we'll see what we have with Mr. Tabuchi. 62, 81, 94 for the 17-year-old. Let's do it. Let's do it. Tabuchi being signed as well. So we bring in 2 new strikers, which, considering we're having trouble scoring goals, could be a big factor for us. Mr. Tabuchi, 5-star, 4-star, medium low. I'm perfectly fine with that as well. Decent pace, decent stamina. 65 finishing. So more than likely will be crafted as a striker as opposed to a winger. More than likely. But he does have decent pace. So again, definitely someone with a strong foundation that we can look to improve upon. I think for now, he will be sticking around. So let's try like hell to get to this game against Man United. We do have an FA Cup match coming up against AFC Wimbledon, which should be winnable. But we have to throw everything at Man U here, and I gotta be honest, I mean, especially for a team like Manchester United, we need to turtle up. That's really all we can do. We need to turtle up. I don't know if I'm thinking going straight 5 at the back. The problem is we do have some very strong options on the wing, of course, with the likes of Morgan, Kelly, Meier, and Anderson in particular. But in terms of, I guess, cams, we have Duarte and Arne, and Duarte's been phenomenal this season. So it's tough because depending on what formation we run with, one position's getting shortchanged, no doubt. Which is why I was hoping the 4-3-3 would work out, but it is not. It is very much not. So I gotta be honest, 4-5-1 might not be terrible just to try and shut down that midfield. That might not be the worst, or even an option with a holding CDM. That might not be the worst. And we just hold out hope for a draw because we're not going to out-attack them. Let's do it. Let's do it. So, at striker for this game, Montandon will be up top. Moritz Meier is in good form. He will be on the left. On the right, it's tough after the game. Sanchez just had to not play him. On the right, it is between Morgan and Kelly. Morgan's in good form. We'll move him over. And in terms of the midfield bunch, it's a tough call between Cano, Bailey, Richardson. I mean, just to show you everyone that ideally, again, would be played as, straight up midfielders. We do have Cordoba. Actually, Cordoba, in fairness, has been being played in the middle. Here, I just want to show you a look at everybody. So these would be the top 5 here that we consider midfielders. And I mean, obviously, Johannessen's the most well-rounded. Richardson's also quite strong. Lunde we've been trying to develop. So I think what we do is we might just go off of overall with Bailey, with that low shooting rating being the holding option. And let's go ahead and bump up Johannessen and Richardson. I know it's crazy to be playing left back, right back in the midfield, but you look at their attributes. It's what they're suited for. It is what they are suited for, as crazy as that is. And then defensively, Medved is not in good form. I'm actually going to sit him. We'll try Galeano there. Harrison Wright will be the starting right back. And in terms of center backs, it's probably going to be between. I mean, O'Leary is our best. Not in good form, though, which kind of sucks. Altonen, same thing, our second choice, but again, not in good form. That would leave us Wilson, who did do all right in the last game, and Cordoba. And I think I'm going to reward the players who have at least been half decent. So on the bench, let's go. Let's go with Sanchez, technically as a striker replacement. Anderson as the out wide option. In terms of a defensive midfielder, of course, I'm not going to worry about any of the youngsters yet, but we're going to go with Cano as the defensive replacements and Duarte as an attacking replacement, and left back, center back. Now, do the AI register it that way? Not quite, but still. And then Dragojevic is there. So we'll stay live with this one because this is going to be the last game that we play. I want to see how it goes down and then give you guys a look at the team just to see what the hell are we going to do. So in terms of what Montandon does, you know what? Do whatever the hell you want. Don't go heavy on interceptions. Come back on defense. Although, he should probably be the one guy to stay up for the sake of counterattack. Everybody else, Moritz Meier, going to be coming back on defense. Whatever you do up top, I'll just let the AI be like. Of course, I have my own strategies for what I do. Just for the AI, do whatever the hell you want. We'll go balanced attack there. Cover the center. Actually, in fairness, you can cover the wing. Again, conservative on the interceptions. That's all we need. Although, yeah, that's strong. Richardson, free roam. Johannessen, you can go forward if you want to. Easy on the interceptions. Cover the wing. You can move wherever the hell you want to. Morgan, same thing. Come back on defense. Conservative interceptions. And Bailey will stay back while attacking. He'll cover the center no matter what. Galeano, if you want to move forward, cool. Again, just easy on the stamina. And let's see if somehow, some way, again, as it always does that. God, FIFA, fix your goddamn game, because now I have to move people back over. Isn't that fun? Oh my god, what a pain in the ass this can be. So we move these people back over. Bailey is there. Morgan over here. Montandon up top. Boy, that's great. Thanks for that extra 10 seconds of my life there. EA, you want to actually save the lineup as I set it up this time? Do you? Maybe? There you go. Look at that. All right. It's a home game. That's the only reason we have a chance. Will luck be on our side against Manchester United? A January 1st game. De Gea in goal. Dele Alli, Lukaku, Rashford, Anthony Martial, Batshuayi on the bench. Come on. Just hold on. Just hold on. Lukaku scores on a pen. And we are in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. Come on. Is there a goal to be had? And Sanchez scores. I thought it was Alexis Sanchez at first. Come on. 5 minutes and Dembele scores. We couldn't hold on for another 5 minutes. Damn it. Damn it. We were so close. I thought we were going to be able to sneak a point away there, and we just couldn't. And that is incredibly frustrating. And at this point, we might be losing Torben Weber and Ove Anderson, which would suck. But there's only so much we can do. There is only so much we can do. Anderson's played a ton, too. It's just how the AI works in this game, unfortunately. Romero's gone. And, of course, we have some other stuff. We can delete that for the moment. In terms of scouting reports, we'll change our focus to that before focusing back on the main task at hand. Mahmoud Boudouani, we will sign for the moment. Everyone else can just stay there. Morris out in Argentina. Telmo Castaneda, I think it is. Manolo Savreda, we'll sign him up for the moment. And obviously Julio Jurado, sign him up for the moment. And out in the Australia, what do we have for us? Oliver Allen, sign him up. Joel Morgan, sign him up. And can we sign Cameron Moore? Yes, we can. So, the Youth Academy, still looking strong. Our chances of staying up this Premier League season, very much on thin ice, as we'll get a look at the league table here. Again, FA Cup matchup coming up against Wimbledon. I'd like to think we could get the win. But in terms of the Premier League, we are currently 19th out of 20th, 16 points. Currently 5 back of Palace in 16th. So that gap between safety and having to fight for the rest of the season, it is getting bigger. So 4 wins, 4 draws, 11 losses, only 20 goals scored, 36 against. That, from the looks of it, is the second most goals against in the league this season. We barely lost to the number 1 team in the league. Again, I don't know what the answer is, because the only reason why we changed up the team drastically is the team was in free fall from February onward last year. So we moved to the idea of playing players where they should ideally be played if I could change position types like I can on NHL or this game when you're playing on PC, and mixed results. So in terms of what the hell we could look to do formation-wise or whatever else, it's kind of a tough call. We have all these new players on the squad, but if we look this season, I mean, it's been rough. I mean, I don't know what's the best thing to look at here. I guess we'll look at stats first, which, I mean, if we look at goals, Montandon's leading the way. Duarte, Ovi Anderson with 5 goals in 11 games. I get why he wants to play more. It's not surprising, but take a look. Montandon up by 3 this season, and 81. I'm not against having him as our main striker. 6.7 rating on average. Duarte, again, is the number 1 choice for more of an attacking midfielder. +3 on the year. He's doing fine, so those decisions have paid off. Anderson's done well on the wing. Johannessen, I mean, 4 goals, no assists, as we've moved him up into the midfield. He's up by 2 this season. Horatio Sanchez as the backup striker. He had that one really good game. Second choice striker, I should say. But overall, it's been kind of disappointing. Jay Morgan, who has been ideally the second choice right wing behind Jonathan Kelly, but he certainly outperformed him. I think the most glaring thing is Moritz Meier. Just why Ovi Anderson can score from out on the wing, but Moritz Meier cannot. That is the major concern. And then from there, it just continues to kind of drop off. And if we look at clean sheets as well among goalkeepers, it hasn't necessarily been pretty. 4 in 11 games for Clarke, 3 in 15 games for Dragojevic. Granero's played that 1 game, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see either Clarke or Dragojevic on the way out to make room for Granero to be the second choice keeper, or hopefully he gets loaned out for the rest of the year and that problem is solved. So, again, as far as what we look to do, it's kind of a tough choice, but like I said, when I look at this team and I look at Horatio Sanchez, no reason he can't bang in goals for us as a striker. 79 finishing's a tad bit low, but he should be able to pull this off. And now again, I know the crossing rating's great, obviously, but between the long shots, the finishing, he should be able to put up just a few more goals. I mean, granted, composure, attacking position, those are all absolutely horrific. Like I said, none of our players on this squad are perfect. Even the higher rated guys like Moritz Meier, I mean, the composure's low, the vision's low, attacking position's not even that great. He does have 90 finishing, though, and only 1 goal. Like I said, it's tough because if you look, it's like, 2-star weak foot. It's not the worst player to play in the middle, but he should be able to do more out on the wing than what he's done. And it is super disappointing. Especially, too, when you look at someone like Ovi Anderson, 82 finishing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, his 1-star weak foot as well. So, like I said, we've gone over the full team in the past. We've had some improvements this year, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Do we abandon this plan, which, again, it's been the plan the whole time. We've been playing guys like Josh Wilson. Now, of course, there is a difference between saying, like, oh, Josh Wilson, right back to center back. There's a difference between that and being like, oh, Johannessen, right back to midfielder. Although, you know, that's where he should be. You can kind of tell by the spread of the attribute wheel as opposed to being like, oh, Bailey, let's play him at striker. You know, it's not quite the same thing. But in terms of what we look to do formation-wise, I think that is the key for us. And we'll also see what happens. I mean, Ovi Anderson might be gone. Might be some other players potentially on the way out, especially through loan with a lot of the younger players that we just signed. That is, I guess, the bright point to this. I mean, obviously, we hope not to be relegated. To be honest, I might just sign Konstantin Zahner because he's going to be looking to stay. But it's a tough call right now because obviously I'm concerned about facing potential relegation. I didn't think that option would be on the table, but here we are, and it very, very much is. And that's a scary thought. Kagame is going to be on the way out. Savreda will wait to see what that full... let's be honest, it's going to drop, more than likely. Kuroki's still looking okay. Gerardo is okay for the moment. So the big ones here, I mean, Youngbauer, Zahner. We still have some pretty strong options there in the Youth Academy. Guys, that'll do it for this one. Hopefully, the nearly year-long struggles of Tranmere Rovers just about over, and we can start to turn things around in the next episode. Again, in terms of how much time we have left this season, there's still a long way to go. There's a long way to go. We are at the halfway point. 38 games in a season. We are at the halfway point. We can turn things around very quickly. The league is still quite close outside of the top. You can see the separation between the top 5 and 8th place Arsenal, right? But there's still a chance that we could turn things around. Arsenal in 8th place on 23 points. We're currently on 16. We can do this. We can turn this around. We just need to find that magic setup and that magic formula for us. That'll do it for this one. Again, in the description, the nations that we have scouted out, everything you need to know. Check it out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, have a good one.